It's kind of weird because episode 5 of Ironheart just wouldn't end. It went on for nearly an hour and said essentially nothing. Episode 6, the finale, is barely over 30 minutes in length, and it says a lot about Ironheart because I can't believe I'm actually going to say this. To get everything that she wants, she makes a deal with the literal devil, and the devil himself is actually more gracious and a more benevolent person than Riri Williams. Hi everyone, it's Az here from HeelvsBabyface, and yes, I know it sounds like a great little soundbite going into the video that the devil himself is actually kinder than Riri Williams, but I assure you that is not it's not an exaggeration. It's actually true. Riri Williams in this episode is going to do a literal deal with the devil to get everything that she wants. Because remember, she's the most selfish, self-centered, narcissistical person in the whole wide world. And the devil is actually going to do her a favor and do her something a little bit better. You know that your characters must be horrendously written when the freaking devil is a nicer person than your main character. So where we left the last episode, our intrepid villain, Riri Williams, needed an unlimited power supply to power her new suit because the solar power and wind power, which had been powering it better than an arc reactor, apparently was no longer cutting it, and therefore she infused magic, and that's as good an explanation as we're ever going to get, into the suit, but it came at a cost, and that cost was the Natalie AI that was wiped. Oh my god, what's ever going to happen next? Nobody cares. Let's just be honest. We just want to get through this, get it over. This is the final episode. I'm going to be happy. You're going to be happy. They're not going to be happy because they're never going to see a season 2. So we start off with the flashback we've already seen between Parker and John, where they're breaking into that mansion, which we now know belongs to his father. They get split up when the police arrive because they're shooting everyone and making a right racket. And Parker gets himself trapped in a tunnel with police coming on either end. Oh my goodness, nowhere to go. A man in a cloak appears, the same cloak that Parker wears from here on in, and says, hey look, we can either talk here or I can open the door and we can go through. And a door appears that goes through to the pizzeria, which Parker's been using as his base of operations for the show. The stranger, of course, is going to turn out to be Mephisto. The doorway vanishes and the police have nowhere to go. Oopsie daisy, Parker's disappeared. So they're sat in the pizzeria and Mephisto is big-upping Parker. Oh, look at you, you're amazing. You're going to be the best man of your generation. Not yet, but you will be if we team up. You know, he's kind of giving him the old shoulder rub. Parker can't pay attention because there's a family, a black family, making noise in a fast food restaurant. Anyway, and Mephisto just goes and silences them. They just silenced. So he knows then that Mephisto's got some power, quite a lot of power. I mean, the fact that he made a doorway in the middle of a tunnel that just led to a pizzeria should have given it away in the first place, but I guess making black people quiet is a better way of I really don't know what they're trying to say here, but it comes across as very racist, and I'm also in on it. It's only then that Mephisto's getting his kink on, and he asks Parker, what is it that you most desire? Because, of course, there's going to be a devil's bargain being made here. Parker ums and ahs, so Mephisto gets up to leave, and then he says, no. I want to be powerful. I want to be stupid, disgusting, greasy, rich. To which Mephisto's like, okay. And then Mephisto makes a image of his father pop into his head, because we now know all about this. And he says, like him, or whispers, like him, in Parker's mind. And Parker's just like, no, richer. You know, we're going for some really original shit here. Yeah, should I like start turning my mustache up at the end and become a mustache twirling villain myself? You know, I'm something of a twat. I'm something of a twat myself. There you go, you see, look. I too can now play Marvel villain, man. So Parker asks him, are you going to give me everything? And Mephisto says, oh no, you beautiful person, because he's got to rub his shoulders, you know. But I will give you the tools so that you can get everything that you deserve. Now, I know it's a TV show, and I know we've got to have some sort of suspenders of disbelief and all that, but if somebody, particularly that had magical powers, wanted to do some bargaining with me, if you know what I mean, said to me, you're going to get what you deserve, I'm probably going to be thinking to myself, this might be a little bit of a monkey paw here, you know? I might actually not come out on this one on top. But Parker agrees anyway, because, you know, otherwise we ain't got a show. And now I'm sad that we do. Parker asks what's in it for Mephisto. Mephisto says, something you'll never miss. His soul. His soul. And Parker agrees to the deal. Mephisto gets up to leave. And Parker says, hey, you forgot to take your cape with you. And he says, oh no, that's yours now. And that's how Parker got the cape. Just in case anybody was wondering, which I know you're not. Sacha Baron Cohen was fine as Mephisto, in as much, though, as we had him in a very short burst, and then we're going to get him in a very short burst later on, and then in a very short burst at the end of the episode. And you kind of have to ask yourself, if we had a lot of him, could he really relish this role, get into this role, and do something good with it? Or would we have one of those Jonathan Majors in Loki situations where he actually just ends up being a bit of a clown? Who knows? I tell you what, not us. We'll never know, because this thing ain't fucking ever coming back. It then cuts to the current day, and Parker's sat in his dad's mansion, cape on, all the crap on his face that we've seen before as he's being further infected by what exactly? I mean, the deal is to take his soul when he's done his gubbing. So I don't even know what all of this Mephisto fucking crap is meant to be that's infecting Parker. Anyway, moving swiftly on, because this scene is useless and there's no point talking about it. It's just Ezekiel and him sat at a table talking bollocks. Pretty much 90% of this show. Look, for whatever reason, because this show just doesn't make any fucking sense whatsoever, Parker decides that he now doesn't belong in his dad's mansion and needs to go back to the pizzeria. I don't know. Never forget where you came from. Whatever bollocks. And he gets the tattoo, pen out, and he starts tattooing the lines from the Mephisto. What is actually fucking going on here? It was never explained in any capacity. Is it giving him a source of power? We don't know. His powers haven't changed at all during the show. Is he doing it so it looks like it's a tattoo and not some sort of illness or some sort of plague? Nothing about this was ever explained, even hinted at being explained, and I've just realized I don't give a shit either. Moving on, Riri tries to download her brain again so that she can reconstruct the Natalie AI. Sadly, she realizes she ain't got a fucking brain. So she's just caught up with the rest of us on that one. We don't even know why adding magic deleted Natalie, said the woman who told Riri earlier that magic comes at a cost. For what it gives, it takes something away. Does nobody in this show have a fucking brain cell to rub together? Parker decides that he wants to have an argument with Mephisto, who's no longer speaking in an American accent. He's got his British accent, or an exaggerated British accent anyway. And he says, I've been trying to contact you. And Mephisto said, didn't you get my messages? And Parker says, what, you mean these scars? And I'm just thinking, what the fuck are you guys talking about? How are they messages? Why are you responding to him now when he asked to speak to you? If these are messages, what are them? This is incomprehensible gobbledygook. So while Parker and Mephisto are having a bit of a lover's tiff upstairs, it's getting a little bit hot and bothered, if you know what I mean, Riri lands outside the pizzeria and comes inside. And I'm thinking, wait a minute, is this going to be 2 episodes in a row where a black woman starts a fight in a fast food restaurant? Anyway, shenanigans are about to take place. Riri wants to get to Parker, but Ezekiel's blocking her path, and because he's been hacked, they're gonna have a very bad fight. Meanwhile, upstairs, Mephisto's talking about, maybe I should take the power away from you and give it to somebody a little bit more appreciative. Who knew that that was actually going to turn out to be Riri Williams later on in the show? Holy cow. So Riri has a genius idea about how to stop Ezekiel from being hacked, how she can help him. Her genius idea is, I'm going to knee you in the balls. Because if I knee you in the balls, then your body's going to go into crisis mode, which is going to be able to break the program. What the fuck are you even saying? So she knees him in the balls, which allows her to put some device that she just happened to have on her on the back of his neck chip, which has rebooted the system and broken the... fuck, it's just a bunch of wank now, isn't it? And from what I can recall, she just leaves Ezekiel now, and we never see him again. Just like the 41%ers. Goodbye, farewell, Auf Wiedersehen. Probably shouldn't say Auf Wiedersehen while my arm is in this position. Could be problematic. Riri, says Parker, I knew that if I wanted you dead, I'd have to be the one to do it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send all the 41%ers after you to fail. Then I'm going to send Ezekiel after you to fail. Then I'm actually going to... You fucking shut up, you tart.
Face it, Riri. You're a criminal. Like me.
Well, he ain't fucking wrong. So they... No. So they start fighting, and... the guy who can move bullets to wherever he wants them to go somehow can no longer do that. Now, she does do a magic charge at the beginning of the fight, which negated the cloak's invisibility, but we also meant to believe that that's now negated his ability to use the magic bullet. And also, because we have no fucking idea how the magic in the suit actually works, or how Riri can cast spells now, this whole thing is absolutely absurd. And on top of it, fucking Twilight here wants to turn into a pissing werewolf. Can't you see what this is doing to you, Parker? Says Riri, who momentarily is about to make her own deal with the devil. You can't make this shit up. So Parker's tearing away at the suit, and it's not difficult because it's made out of a fucking car. So Riri initiates the emergency protocol, which explodes the whole suit. Or so it seems, but what it's really done is it's just really created a hologram of the suit exploding in an effort to fool Parker that the suit's gone. But Parker, this is a hologram, and what he would realize, the fact that there's no heat, there's no damage to him, there's no... Only a fucking moron would fall for this bullshit. But our suspension of disbelief... Fuck it. Come here. Hey, come here. Hey, come here. Come here. Fuck off. So Riri's crawling on the ground, coughing. This is holographic Riri, of course, and doesn't have a single blemish on her. And yet, again, Parker is meant to believe that her whole suit exploded, and this regular human being, this 5'10" tiny little woman, wasn't in any way, shape, or form affected by... What the actual fuck is happening in this show now? It's just getting... It's gone way past absurd. We're fully into the ridiculous fucking arc here. And this is our finale? Oh, God. I am... 2.5 years it rotted on the shelves. I think they needed to double it and then fucking times it by 50. Hell, even her clothes don't even have a thread out of place. But oh no, she's cut a lip or something. And then holographic Riri starts crying and begging for her life. And we're now going to get the reveal that it's a hologram, and everything's going to come across as really fucking weird. And apparently this was able to be programmed into the suit overnight. This whole fucking invention which can turn rooms into holographic. You've just created the fucking holodeck, you dumb fucking bitch. You've just created the fucking holodeck from Star Trek, and yet instead of selling it for fucking billions, fucking trillions of dollars, you're fucking desperate to steal thousands. What the fuck is wrong with this fucking retard? Retard fucking William. Holy... Oh, God, please, everyone involved in this show, just stop. Just stop. Just stop. Move away from whatever you're fucking doing. Go to the nearest mental institution. Fucking hand yourself in. Get into a padded cell and remain there for the rest of your days. And may they be full of peace and love and joy and all that fucking shite. But never, please, never go near a book, a comic, a TV show, a film, or anything fucking resembling any of that in the future, okay? John says, I trusted you. Well, that's your fault, because you're a freaking idiot, aren't you? And then Riri reveals herself and reveals it all to be a hologram. Crazy hologram, hey? Well, yeah, it doesn't make a lick of sense. But anyway, And then she tears the cape off of Parker, and it looks like all this kind of like dark energy leaves, and he's like, please give me my suit, give me it back. I'm nothing without my capey poo. Please give me it. She's not, obviously. So she leaves him on the floor, having taken away his cape, doesn't call the police. I mean, she's got to be careful there, of course, because they'll probably arrest her. But she just leaves him there. And from what I can remember, again, we will never see Parker in the show. So did he just get up and go, oh, cheers, love. I'm just going to get all the money that we've stolen. I'm just going to get all the contracts that I've had people sign because apparently they're legal and binding. So I still have the house. I still have all the companies. I still got all the money. Apart from the cloak being taken away, I'm really confused as to how Parker's lost here. Now he can just enjoy his wealth until the end of his days, and then Mephisto will take his soul away. What is actually going on? So Riri Williams comes down from the lift, turns the corner, and there's somebody sat in a booth who's actually less evil than she is. It's the devil. So she sits down in the booth, and Mephisto says, I help people realize their full ambition. People like you. And Riri says, people like me, as if it was some sort of racial comment. No. He means people like you. Dirty, filthy, stinking, scummy criminals. That's what he meant, Riri. I thought that was pretty explicitly implied. And he then starts buttering her up, saying, oh, yeah, I'm drawn to like the exceptional, the genius, all that kind of stuff. And she's falling for it because she's a self-serving, selfish, egotistical, narcissistical bitch. And so, yes, it seems perfectly obvious now why Riri Williams would, in fact, do a deal with the literal devil, which she's about to do. So he introduces himself as Mephisto and says to Riri, what is it that you want? And we see all these images of the Natalie AI flittering through her mind, which he can obviously sense or read or whatever. And he's like, He says, look, I could give you a wonderful life. You know, you should do this deal. And so Riri says, what's the catch? And he says, it's nothing that you're going to miss. And I'm actually thinking, I think the devil's about to get screwed out of a deal here because I'm not even convinced that Riri has a fucking soulmate. So do we have a deal? Says Mephisto. And then it cuts back to her neighborhood and she's working on some things in the garage. And suddenly, Natalie AI appears. So Riri tries to get Natalie to run a diagnostic, and Natalie's looking like, what the fuck are you even talking about? And so Natalie actually ends up hitting Riri on the top of her head. And then Riri realizes this isn't the Natalie AI. Mephisto has brought back the real Natalie. So it looks like Riri's wish wasn't to have Natalie back, but to have the Natalie AI back. But Mephisto is so has more humanity and is more benevolent than she'll ever be. And so he's like, oh no, I'll bring back the real Natalie for her. By the way, does she actually ask for Gary to come back? Did she say, can I have my family back that was killed in the drive-by? No, just the Natalie AI. So Gary's still rotten in hell, by the looks of it. And the fact that Mephisto was able to bring back the real Natalie, does that mean that Natalie was also rotting in hell? I guess when you know Riri Williams, it comes at a cost. That's the real fucking cost. So the show tries to do this whole thing with Natalie and Riri hugging and the music swelling, and I'm fucking screaming at the screen going, wait, were you so fucking dumb that you didn't want your family back? You just wanted your AI back for your fucking suit because you're such a selfish... Holy fuck. It's like the realization to Riri that, wait a minute, I can ask for more than just things for myself. But I guess having Natalie back within itself is just another selfish wish for Riri. You cannot get a bigger piece of scum and shit on planet Earth than Riri Williams. A character so nasty, evil, selfish, self-serving, narcissistical, that she even makes the devil look like a benevolent Holy shit. And there we go. Ironheart. A show that was completed over 2.5 years ago, that was rotting on the shelves at Disney, that's been gone through so many different edits to try and put something out which isn't hot garbage, and yet they still managed to fail. Bye-bye, Riri Williams. I actually really hope that you do appear in Avengers Doomsday, because I'd love to see how they write you in this one. Until the next video, you take care. Goodbye, Baloo Boo.